Big Dick Deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you
Enormous dick freak is all getting hellfire in 2024. It's up for every one of them. It don't make any difference assuming you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jake any of them. The each all untruths will be uncovered. That is, small Shay Diddy Combs is confronting new claims, this time at Lady guarantees the rapper tranquilized and at her in New York City back in 1991. Think about who's back spilling the tea, feline? Williams is busy once more, and this time he's focusing on Diddy uncovering some obscure stuff. He supposedly does, with more youthful folks clutch your seats since it's going to get wild felines uncovering Diddy, as well as bringing some serious proof about the young men Diddy evidently pursued. Prepare yourselves, since he's going to let the cat out of the bag on why Diddy is named the greatest snake in Hollywood in the event that there's one person doling out every one of the hot insights regarding the obscure sides of Hollywood. It's Feline Williams. This person has a deep understanding of everybody in the business, and he's not remaining quiet about it. He's attempting to spill the tea for us all, in spite of the quiet during the Diddy show. Feline isn't one to avoid such points. It turns out he was only trusting that the ideal second will drop every one of the succulent subtleties, and trust me, he has a mother load of stories to share. Prepare for the disclosures. Certain fellows that he'll do that too, cause he could. He could pull off it sufficiently speedy, or he got someone behind him, or he got certain individuals there. They, regardless of going to take his weight for, was just so Feline Williams has forever been that frank individual focusing on the less fabulous features of Hollywood way back when he arose as one of the trailblazers to unveil that the bits of gossip flowing about Hollywood's unfavorable side, especially concerning the Illuminati, weren't simple paranoid fears yet, rather substantial realities, immovably situating himself as hostile to Illuminati. Feline valiantly aims against it, completely mindful that such a position frequently welcomes reaction, with the press betraying the individuals who oppose this surreptitious power. What separates Feline is his proud obligation to telling the unfiltered truth, no matter what the results. This turns out as expected in the momentum circumstance, including Diddy as per Feline. Diddy isn't just ensnared in that frame of mind after youthful specialists. He purportedly makes it a stride further, captivating and horrendous act. To keep up with control and quietness, those under his impact computer-aided design has been sounding the alert on Diddy's problematic dealings for a really long time. Yet in those days, very few paid notice. There were incidental murmurs regarding Diddy's unconventional conduct. For example, assuming praise for his craftsman's work without impartial pay anyway. It was only after Cassie's claim that the public's eyes were genuinely open to the dim underside of Diddy's reality. The claim shed light on viewpoints that Diddy had supposedly figured out how to hide from the world, raising questions about his standing. Feline Williams, exactly as expected, keeps on focusing on these issues, encouraging a nearer assessment of the hazier corners of media outlets' computer-aided design, has been sounding the alert on Diddy's sketchy dealings for a critical stretch. Yet the tangle was relatively few repaid consideration. Why? Well, basically put, we didn't exactly get a handle on the degree of Diddy's supposed wrongdoing. Sure, there were irregular mumbles about Diddy's eccentricities, a couple of remarks to a great extent about how he would in general assume praise for his craftsmen difficult work without reasonably remunerating them anyway. It was only after Cassie's claim unfurled that the full extent of Diddy's supposed clouded side became obvious. Cassie didn't keep down in spilling the tea, stating that Diddy had purportedly sought after her all through her residency, with his mark exposing her to an astounding 11 years of abuse. It wasn't an all-around ordinary awful supervisor situation, as per Cassie progress under awful kid records was scanted, and she additionally made upsetting cases of actual abuse during the relationship, leaving her body extremely harmed. Yet that is not the finish of it. The claim dug into a really disturbing area, asserting and upsetting cases that Diddy supposedly exploited her organizing experiences with male laborers, while he noticed, yes, it's very disrupting, and Katt got straight to the point. Since this side of Diddy has become known, fans end up doing a twofold take, reviewing what Feline Williams alluded to in regards to how Diddy purportedly utilized and acted improperly towards youthful specialist Puff. I'll have returned to you in the event that D ain't had enough. Definitely Jerain Dewey ruler of, if you were to ask me better. We should rewind the clock a couple of years back. Feline Williams tossed some serious concealed Diddy and Jermaine Dupri, proposing they were engaged with a few horrific acts towards the jumble young men. Now, for the individuals who probably won't recollect, Bungle comprised of Chris Kelly and Chris Smith, the pair that took all of us leap bounce back in the mid-90s. Use young men start to superstardom at a young age, becoming showbiz royalty, only 12 and 13 anyway. Like numerous kid stars, their process had its more obscure sides. Jermaine Dupri, their guide, assumed a significant part in molding their music profession, and as per Feline Williams, however, this mentorship purportedly broadened far past the studio, with Flotsam and Jetsam and Diddy evidently chasing after the young men in manners that went a long ways past the music business, in spite of dropping 3 profoundly fruitful collections with Jermaine Dupri. Bits of gossip coursed that both Chris Kelly and Chris Smith confronted continued troubling occurrences, embroiling both Dupri and his pal Diddy. As per Feline Williams, the supposed misery pushed Chris Kelly to go to drugs as a method for adapting to the aggravation he was getting through his battles with substance habit. Went on until 2013, when he was found oblivious at his Atlanta home. Regardless of being hurried to the emergency clinic, he was proclaimed dead 3 days after the fact. This disclosure broke his family, who transparently recognized his set of experiences of substance use. Jermaine Dupri put out an announcement communicating his misfortune, expressing, "Not to the world Chris was frantic daddy, but rather to me he was a child I never had anyway." As individuals saw Diddy's restricted information about Chris, like his age questions, emerged. One individual from Mismatch died not long after. Still moderately youthful Jermaine Dupri guaranteed that they had floated separated throughout the long term. Yet fans saw an adjustment of Chris Kelly's disposition subsequent to engaging with Dupri and Diddy. At first ascribed to industry pressure, these claims presently portray what Chris could have been evering in the background. Jermaine Dupri moved toward Chris Kelly and Chris Smith when they were only 11 and 12, recommending they become rap artists. In a meeting, Chris Kelly reviewed the odd experience at a shopping center in Atlanta, where Jermaine moved toward them all of a sudden. Despite the fact that they were kids playing computer games, Jermaine offered them a shot at popularity. Chris Smith even figured Jermaine may be a kid himself, radiating an odd energy regardless of the odd inclination at guised by dreams of fame. The young men decided to seek after the choice of becoming tremendous stars. Feline Williams, known for his clear methodology, shared some data guaranteeing that Diddy wasn't an observer he was purportedly elaborate to. Back in 2011, Feline dropped a free form where he had a few explicit words about Diddy and Jermaine. As per sources, Jermaine wasn't just supposedly giving the folks out to Diddy, he, as far as anyone knows, additionally gave them out to Jada Smith in 1993. These disclosures make it considerably more evil thinking about that Diddy and Jermaine, in a roundabout way, had an impact in Chris Kelly's unfortunate NK contended use, that if not for the injury caused by Diddy and Jermaine, Chris Kelly could in any case associate with today, Chris might have been among Diddy's supposed early casualties. Yet tragically, he wasn't the last. Throughout the long term, there have been various reports of Diddy engaging in some truly obscure business with youthful folks' tales range from him making unseemly advances to placing them in abnormal and awkward circumstances. We should not disregard Gene Diddy's ex-guardian, who continually spills tea on Diaz per Jean. It's something of a